Good evening, everyone. This is January 2015, Unit 4 of IEL Chemistry. In this session, I'll discuss MCQs related to this paper. The first one, sulfuryl chloride SO2Cl2 decomposes the first order. So first order, the half-life is constant. So the half-life of this reaction is 2300 seconds. We have initial concentration of 1 mole. We need how much sample, what is the concentration of sulfuryl chloride after 4600 seconds. So initial concentration, which is 1 mole per dm3, after the half-life 2300 seconds, it will be 0.5 mole per dm3. And after another half-life 2300 seconds, it will be 0.25 mole per dm3. So after two half-lives, we are left with 0.25 mole per dm3 of sulfuryl chloride. Which classes of halogen alkane can react with alkali by SN2 mechanism? So SN2 mechanism, the rate of the reaction depends on the attacking nucleophile as well as the reagent as well as the substance halogen alkane present. In case of tertiary, if there is tertiary, it will undergo SN1. Why? Because of a steric hindrance, the carbon surrounded by alkyl group in tertiary. So the attacking nucleophile does not find a space to attack on this partial positive carbon. That's why it cannot be tertiary. Tertiary is SN1. So we are left with option A, which is primary and secondary. Which of the following is the correct order of decreasing entropy? So in which order the entropy is decreasing? So the highest entropy, if we have, when we check option A, in solid, as we know, entropy of a gas is more than entropy of liquid, and entropy of a liquid is more than entropy of solid. Because in gases, the particles are moving at high speeds, so more space is available for the particle to move, and as the particles are moving at a high speed, so more ways are there that energy distributed among the particles. So ice, so this is solid cannot have the highest, so this cannot be. If we check option C, steam is there, water at 0 and ice at -20. So this is gas, then liquid, and then solid. That's why C will be the right answer. Ethanol burned in excess of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. The standard molar entropy of the reactant and the product are given. The value for entropy of a system. So how to work out entropy of a system? Entropy of a system is equals to entropy of reactant, entropy of a product, total entropy of a product minus total entropy of reactant. So entropy of a product, 2 moles of carbon dioxide, so this will be 2 into 214 plus 3 moles of water are there, so 3 into 70 minus entropy of reactant. So we have ethanol, which is having entropy of 161 plus 3 multiplied by entropy of 1 mole of oxygen is 205. So this will be multiplied by 3 because that will be for 3 moles. So the total entropy for this, when we substitute the values, will come out as minus 138 joule per mole inverse Kelvin inverse. Nitrogen react with hydrogen to form ammonia. The value of entropy of a surrounding in joule mole inverse Kelvin, and the enthalpy change is given in kilojoule, so we have to convert into joule, so it will be 92.2 into 10 to the power 3 joule per mole. And the entropy of the surrounding is given by minus delta H by T. So it will be minus into minus 92.2 into 10 to the power 3 and divided by temperature in degree centigrade. So we have to add 273. So it will be 298 Kelvin. When we solve, this will come out as 309.4 Joule mole inverse Kelvin inverse. The sign of enthalpy of a reaction and entropy change of a system for 4 different gaseous reactions are shown, which must be thermodynamically feasible. So when total entropy is positive, the reaction is thermodynamically feasible. So total entropy is equals to entropy of system plus entropy of surrounding. Entropy of a system should be, and what is entropy of surrounding? Entropy of surrounding is minus delta H by T. So it is system minus delta H by T. We want this answer to be positive because the reaction is thermodynamically feasible if it is, so the reaction is thermodynamically feasible if it is having the total entropy positive. So entropy of the system, we need a positive value. And what about this? Because this is subtracted, so if and delta H is negative, so minus minus will be plus. So we want enthalpy change to be negative and we want entropy of a system to be positive so that the overall answer will be positive. That's why B is the right answer for question 6. Use the data in the table to calculate enthalpy change of a solution. Calcium chloride is there. So the formula for enthalpy change of a solution, it is hydration energy minus lattice energy. So the hydration energy, calcium ion is hydrated, 1 mole of calcium ion is hydrated, so it is 1650 plus 2 moles of chloride ions are hydrated because CaCl2 is there, so minus 364 minus the lattice energy. The lattice energy is minus 2258 kilojoule per mole. So hydration minus the lattice energy will give us the enthalpy change for the solution. So when we substitute the value, it will come out as minus 120. The expression that relate the entropy of a system to equilibrium constant. So the formula, we know the total entropy is equals to entropy of system plus entropy of surrounding. The total entropy is given by R ln K. Entropy of a system and entropy of surrounding is minus delta H by T. This is minus, so other side it will be plus. So it will be R ln K plus delta H by T is equals to entropy of system. So it will come out as A is the right answer. Dinitrogen tetroxide forms an equilibrium mixture of a with nitrogen dioxide. The equilibrium when the temperature is 400 Kelvin and the partial pressures are given. The numerical value of Kp. So Kp, it is product divided by reactant. So product is NO2. Now because it is Kp, so pressure of NO2 and that will be square because the coefficient 2 is written here, and the partial pressure of N2O4. We don't have to put a square bracket, just for identification I put square because normally square bracket is used to represent concentration. So we substitute the value. So this is 4.18 square divided by 0.365. So when we 4.18 square divided by 3.6865, it will come out as 47.9, or D will be the right answer. A buffer solution is 0.1 mole per dm cube with respect to ethanoic acid and 0.05 with respect to sodium ethanoate. The Ka is given, the pH. So the formula which relate the Ka, the concentration of ethanoate ion, hydrogen ion, and concentration of acid. So first we'll find the hydrogen ion concentration. So it will be Ka multiplied by concentration of acid divided by concentration of ethanoate ion or the salt. And after getting the hydrogen ion concentration, we'll use the formula pH is equals to minus log of hydrogen ion concentration to get the pH of this buffer solution. So when we substitute the value, we have the value for Ka, we have the concentration of acid, that's ethanoic acid, and we have the concentration of the salt, 0.05. So when we substitute, it will come out as 4.47, the pH of this buffer solution. The equation for a reaction between a weak acid and sodium hydroxide. So weak acid and strong base, when they react with each other, because weak acid will have a strong conjugate base. So when weak acid is there, its conjugate base will be strong. So what it result? So due to this, when sodium hydroxide is used up and weak acid is also completely used up, we are left with a conjugate base of this weak acid, and conjugate base will be stronger. That's why the solution will have a pH. When the salt is formed, the salt solution, it will be alkaline, but not too very strong alkali, but it will be alkaline. So A and B cannot be an answer. We are left with C and D. But why we choose C? Because it's still a weak alkali, but it will comparatively, this is a comparison, weak acid in comparison strong conjugate base it formed. So that's why it will be alkaline, but not too much alkaline, like it will not be 13, it will be 8.5. When a small amount of hydrochloric acid is added, the pH change is very small. Why the pH change is very small? As just now I wrote that Ka into concentration of acid divided by concentration of the salt or the conjugate base. So K is constant at a fixed temperature. So this ratio also remain constant. That's why the hydrogen ion concentration, small change is there or negligible change. So the ratio of concentration of acid to conjugate base, that remain only little changes there. That's why the pH slightly change, not too much. How many structural isomers for C5? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pentane. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 2-methyl butane, and 1, 2, 3, and then so this will be 2,2-dimethyl propane. But we cannot have any other arrangement. Like if I try to move the branch other side, that is also 2-methyl butane. So only 3 structural isomers are possible for C5H12. Which type of stereoisomerism, if any, can exist in a molecule? So to check the optical isomer, it should be a chiral carbon. The term chiral carbon means the bond which carbon form should be different, and to be a geometrical isomers, different groups should be attached to a carbon which are having a double bond. So when we check carbon-carbon double bond, both side hydrogen is attached, so it cannot have geometrical isomer. But what about optical isomer? So we'll check the chiral carbon. This is not the chiral carbon. But you can check this is a chiral carbon, that all different groups are attached to this carbon. So this will be geometrical isomer or optical isomer. Sorry, it will be optical isomer, but not a geometrical isomer. Because identical groups are attached to a carbon which are having double bond. An organic compound gave a pale yellow PPT when warmed with a solution of iodine. So this gives an idea that methyl group is there next to carbonyl group. Because when methyl group is next to carbonyl group, this will give a positive triiodomethane test result. And it gives a steamy fumes when tested with PCl5. So it is also having OH. So when we check, the compound should have OH. So this is having OH. This is there's OH because carboxylic or alcohol, both OH give a steamy fume with PCl5, but it does not have methyl group next to carbonyl, so this will not be an answer. This is having methyl group next to carbonyl, but this does not have OH. This is having OH, but does not have methyl group. This is having a methyl group next to carbonyl, and it was also having OH, so that's why D is the right answer. Which type of radiation is used in NMR spectroscopy? So we use radio waves which flip the hydrogen, the proton basically into different states, arrange them according to external magnetic, like they have enough energy when they absorb these radio waves, so they change their orientation opposite to the magnetic field which we apply, and once they loses their energy back, they flip and release energy, so we can identify using this technique that how many hydrogen environments are there in the group. Which of these gases normally use mobile phase? Should be inert gas. So inert gas is the argon, that's why A is the right answer. The molecule shown below was reacted with excess lithium tetrahydrodualuminate. So it means elimination reaction should occur. So if it's an aldehyde will convert into alcohol, and if it's a carboxylic acid, that will also turn into alcohol. So we should have both OH groups, both side OH groups should be there. So this is having one side OH group, the other side no. One side OH, the other side no. This does not have OH group. Like this is basically oxidized rather than reduced. So D is the right answer because we are using a reducing agent, lithium tetrahydrodualuminate. The molecule CH3, CH2C, so it is amide is formed, amide linkage is there or amide is formed. So how it can be done? Because when acyl chloride CH3, CH2, C double bonded with ONCl reacted with CH3, CH2 or NH2. So this will lose its H, this will lose its Cl, and they're linked with each other. So it will form CH3, CH2, C double bonded with O, NH, that's a amide linkage, and then CH2 and CH3. And in a one stage, that's why B is the right answer. Plus HCl, so we'll observe a misty fumes. And they already mentioned single step in a room temperature. The product of hydrolysis of an ester where propane 2-ol and 2-methyl propanoic acid, the ester was, so propane 2-ol, the OH is attached with the second carbon. So when we check, this side is from alcohol, but this O is attached with the first carbon. This O is attached with the second carbon. So this can be, but the propanoic acid is 2-methyl propanoic acid, but this is only like 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is butanoic acid, so this cannot be an answer. Again, OH is attached with the first carbon. Here OH is attached with the second carbon and 2-methyl and 1, 2 and 3. So propanoic acid, that's why D is the right answer. So this was January 2015 of IAL chemistry.